In the previous lectures, we mainly focused on the Unreal Engine interface. I think you already learned a lot, as by now you already know how to navigate in the level viewport, how to adjust properties of the assets in the level viewport and the content browser, how to use transformation tools, menu bar, and important features of the title bar. At this point, I think you're ready to start importing assets to your Unreal Engine project. In these few lectures, I will share with you my favorite places to acquire free as well as paid assets for your project. We will start with Quixel Bridge, a huge asset library that is used by today's leading developers and artists. The best part is that it is already integrated in your Unreal Engine. In version 4 of the Unreal Engine, Quixel Bridge had to be installed separately, whereas now it is fully implemented in the Unreal Engine 5. Without further ado, let's begin. While we were learning how to use Unreal Engine interface, you might have noticed that I have this strange tab called Bridge. If you don't have it, you can open it by clicking on Window and choosing Bridge. You should see a similar tab. If prompted, you can sign in with the same account you use for logging in your Epic Games launcher. Let's take a quick look at what Quixel Bridge has to offer us. As you can see, there are more than 14,000 assets available for free. These include 3D assets, 3D plants, surfaces, decals, and imperfections. We will deal with each one of these as we progress. For now, let's try to import a 3D asset to our project. What do you think about making it more comfortable for our third-person character to navigate in the template level? I bet he would love to be able to reach heights by using stairs. Let's search for stairs in the asset library. These modular brick stairs look great to me, but what is more important is that we will encounter a slight problem that we will fix together. To download the asset, click on it and choose Download. Once the download is finished, you can click on this Add button. Once clicked, in your content browser you should automatically be taken to a location where your asset is placed. Before I forget, let me tell you that sometimes you won't be taken to the location of the asset automatically. It's a small bug, but an easy one to deal with. If that is your case, you can simply return to the bridge window and click on the Add button again. Don't worry, it won't create a duplicate, but it should navigate you to the location of the asset in the content browser. Drag the asset to your level viewport and adjust its transforms to your liking. I'm making quick copies by holding Alt key and dragging the asset with left mouse button. Let's test it out. Bummer. Something is wrong with collisions of this asset. Not to worry, as this gives us a great opportunity to learn something new. Double-click on the asset to open it. Now search for collision complexity. Expand this and choose Use Complex Collision as simple. I have to warn you, though, that it's not the best way to create collisions for your asset. Using such a method requires more resources to process, but it will do for now. Before trying out whether our collisions work, please save the asset by clicking on this button. Now let's return to our Viewport tab. We have a problem again. The stairs are too steep for our character. He can't walk up flawlessly. Don't you worry though. There's a very simple solution to this problem. You can scale down your stairs on Z-axis and it should work. Let's select all stair assets in the level viewport and set their scale to 0.75. Make sure your uniform scaler isn't turned on. We need to make adjustments only to the Z scale. Now let's arrange everything so it looks decent. You might need to add another stairs asset so that everything looks good. Let's see how it works now. Congratulations. The problem is solved. Let me tell you, in Unreal Engine, the majority of problems can be solved with an open mind and some minor tweaks. Now I will quickly teach you how to create less resource-hungry collisions for your assets. Let's open up our stairs again. Now expand collision complexity and set it to use simple collision as complex. Click on Show and tick Simple Collision so that we can observe simple collisions that we create. Now add a box collision from the menu bar. Select it and adjust it so that it covers the first step. Now duplicate it by holding the Alt button on your keyboard and dragging it with a mouse to the correct position. And do it again for the last step. Don't forget to save changes that you made to the asset. That's it. Our simple collision is ready. Now let's test it out. Wonderful. The collision we just created works as it should, and it uses minimum computing resources. Now let me show you how to get materials from Quixel Bridge. It's a similar process. Go to the Bridge tab. Choose Surfaces. Choose the one you like. Download it and add it to your project. You can drag and drop materials on the assets like this. Don't worry if they don't look perfect out of the box. Dealing with materials is a huge topic in the Unreal Engine, so I devoted a separate section that will teach you how to work with materials in depth. Okay, before you proceed to the next lecture, try to download some more assets from Quixel Bridge and place it in your world. If there are any collision problems, you already know how to deal with them. Mind that in some cases, rectangular collisions won't work properly for round objects. Luckily for us, we have a whole plethora of collision shapes. As I said, experiment for yourself. If there's something you don't understand in this lecture, feel free to ask me and make sure you check out Unreal documentation for collisions. It's included as a resource to this lecture. We'll be using collisions a lot, so don't fret. By the end of this course, you'll know everything there is to know about collisions. For now, don't be afraid to experiment. Move to the next lecture only when you become comfortable importing assets from Quixel Bridge and adjusting their collisions the way I taught you. This is it for this lecture. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next lecture.